Hi everybody, it's Carolyn. It's Friday, July 3rd, 8 o'clock in the morning, and I'm at Hawk Mountain Sanctuary in Kempton, Pennsylvania. We're north of Reading, Pennsylvania, and west of Allentown. Today I'm hiking with my husband, and we're really excited to be back here. We've been to the sanctuary a couple of times in the past, but it's been a year or two. And this is definitely going to be an amazing hike. We're going to be doing some rock scrambling. Hopefully we'll see some raptors and some eagles and other birds and things like that. It's going to be a great hike. So here is a map of the trail that we did. I am recording this afterwards because we did do a little bit of a different route than what the All Trails app had us do. We started in the parking lot and made our way to the south lookout, made a left, checked out all the lookouts along the way here until we reached right here. We made a right and went to the north lookout. Here's where all of the bouldering started. At the north lookout, we hit lots and lots of rocks, had to climb down many of them, which was pretty daunting. However, in my preference, I would prefer to go down the boulders in this area than go up. So I was really glad that we went clockwise instead of going counterclockwise like a lot of the people that we encountered on the trail. We did do the Skyline Trail all the way here. Right around here on the All Trails map, this says 1475 Hawk Mountain. So not sure if that is the peak of Hawk Mountain, but we did stop and take a look at the view, which was quite beautiful. Made our way here, which if you continue on here, you can go to the Appalachian Trail. Of course, we made a right and went down the Golden Eagle Trail. So the All Trails app had us coming down to this area and making this loop, but we decided there were too many people in this area and there was too much activity, so we decided to make a right and go up the trail a little bit this way, and then we hopped onto the River of Rocks here, which was really nice because there was nobody else there. So I do recommend doing that if you get a chance. If you want to make your hike a little bit longer, of course you could always do this loop if you want to. Once we hopped on the rocks, we had like a little snack there and then got back onto the trail. We came back out onto the Golden Eagle / River of Rocks trail and then made a right and just continued on our way back to our starting point in the parking lot. outlook. I think this one is called the Bald Outlook. So this gives you a little bit of a view of what our hike is going to look like. We will be going over that ridge right there, and then you can see down in the distance, that little speck is the River of Rocks. So this trail is extremely rocky, and obviously you're traversing over boulders as well at some point in the hike. So I definitely recommend wearing very sturdy footwear. Check out these rhododendron. They're a color I've never seen before. They're kind of like a white with a tinged pink, and the flower head is a little bit smaller than I'm used to seeing. I'm used to seeing purple, so I wonder if they are a wild variety of rhododendron. They're really pretty. They're all around here. Some of them are getting ready to bloom and some have already bloomed, but it's really pretty. So this is the North Lookout. Lots of rocks on the trail. These are buried under dirt, but this is pretty much like what our trail has been like since we've started this. Lots of rocks, lots of sharp edges. We will be heading down that direction, and if I recall correctly, we'll be dropping, but we're going to be in rocks the whole time. So that's our blaze right there, and we are just kind of traversing over boulders right now, and just kind of making our way around. And it looks like we're gonna drop down there, which we're gonna be dropping down for a while. More rhododendron, beautiful view. And we keep going down, and we're headed down in that direction, straight down. If you've ever hiked in New Hampshire, this will actually be not that big of a deal, which we have, but it's definitely still challenging. So that's where we just came from. See the blazes there? We just came down. It's that whole rock mess right there. And then now we are heading down that way. So I just came from that direction, and my husband Bill is making his way down, and we are heading that way. So we just came up those rocks and we're here at the East Rocks overlook. And you can kind of see where we came from. I'm not sure if you can see the, I think that's the visitor center right there. And we came all around that way and up that rocky trail. So there are some beautiful hemlock in this area, and of course the rhododendron, which I had mentioned before. But if you look very closely, you could see there is woolly adelgid on them. So unfortunately, some of these beautiful hemlock will be gone, and it looks like this one's already started. All right, well, we're still kind of like on the rocky trail here and heading in that direction. But according to my All Trails app, we are at the peak of Hawk Mountain, 1,457 feet. Pretty nice view. And still have, I think, about half of our hike to go. So we took this little detour on the River of Rocks trail because we wanted to check out the River of Rocks, and we're making our way down there right now. Wow, check this out. This is really cool. I have been to Boulder Field at Hickory Run State Park, and that too is pretty spectacular, but yeah, this is really, really cool. Wow, this is really cool. Time for some snack, maybe snack, lunch, something like that, with this scene right here. So for the last leg of this trail, we do seem to be walking alongside the River of Rocks and just continuing up a little way. We did this trail clockwise, which had us going down a lot of the large boulders, and we saw a lot of people doing the trail counterclockwise. Truthfully, I'm not really sure which way would be better. I guess it just depends on if you want to go up rocks or down rocks. So, you know, that's a personal preference. But either way, I do think that All Trails has this trail as a difficult trail, as a hard trail, and I would definitely tend to agree with them. So now we're coming into this area of rhododendrons, which look pretty cool. They're on both sides, and they're forming sort of a canopy over us, which is really nice. Very pretty, nice and green and lush. No flowers on these. Looks like they are past their prime for the flowers, but still really pretty nonetheless. All right, we're coming to the end of the trail now. We just went up, 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 pretty steep. And now we could see that there are lots of views on the right-hand side. And so this is it. Thank you for hiking Hawk Mountain Sanctuary with us today. Hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. So we're back at the car and it is so crowded in the parking lot right now. Of course, there's a lot of people around. So we're just kind of rinsing off with sanitizing wipes just to get some of the muck and the sweat off of us, and getting ready to take the hour-and-a-half ride back home, changing shoes, things like that. Initially, our hike was supposed to be about 6 miles today, but we decided to skip out of the, there was a spur loop on the trail that we decided not to do. And we decided not to do it just because it was a little bit too crowded, and with all the rocks, it made it really slow going. So it was just a little too close for comfort for us, so we decided to skip doing that, and our hike ended up being about 5.2 miles. So for today's hike at Hawk Mountain, I wanted to show you what is in my pack. We were going about an hour-and-a-half away, so I wanted to make sure that I was really prepared. Of course, I always carry my Osprey Tempest 20. It's a 20-liter pack. It does have a lot of great features on it. I actually went to REI and tried it on, and this was the best pack for me at the time that I tried it on. It has lots of great features on it. It's got hip pockets and things like that. So when my pack was full, I would say it probably weighed, close to 10 pounds. And that's my cat in there, getting in the picture, of course, investigating everything. One of the big reasons why my pack would weigh so much is because I do carry 2 liters of water. And whenever I'm hiking on a day like today, which was really humid, I always put this Ultima Replenisher, which is an electrolyte mix, into my 2-liter bladder. So I have that. I'm gonna start at the top. I have a baseball hat, and right below that is a bug net. This is a puffer, it's a Patagonia puffer, which really weighs very little, but it's great if you have an emergency and need warmth. I've got my medical kit. I've got my mask. I have to say, hiking during COVID, I really like these masks that you tie on, because you could just tie this around your neck and let it hang. And then when people come on the trail, it's easy to kind of like loosely tie it above your head. So I've really been liking that. I always use the AllTrails app, but I always like to have a map as well too. So this actually does have a map of the trail, and I always like to have that backup so that I can figure out, if something goes wrong with the app, that gives me a little bit of a chance to figure things out. I've got an extra pair of socks, keys, I have some cash, credit card, my license, my medical card as well. I've got some bug wipes. So I always put sunscreen and bug repellent on before I go hiking, but I have these bug wipes on the trail. I have reading glasses, so I do need reading glasses, and I stick them in a little pocket on the front of my pack. Obviously, well, this stuff is this is battery power, cord, and little mini tripod for my phone for recording. I always have hand sanitizer. This kind of hangs on the side of my pack, which is really convenient. I've got lip balm, like SPF lip, and spot SPF here as well too. I did bring my rain jacket today because there was a 20% chance of rain. I do always bring a Ziploc bag, and it's twofold. It holds toilet paper and it holds tissues, but it also, my phone can actually go in there if it should start to rain, like a huge downpour. Next to that, I have the Deuce number 2. This is to dig a cat hole. If I had to go number 2 on the trail, I would be able to do that. I have a snack. So typically I eat really, really well before I go hiking. I'm really full by the time I get on the trail, but I always bring a snack like this. My headlamp. I've got an emergency blanket, a pen. I have a little multi-tool, and this is a really lightweight blade. I have a little vial of essential oils. It is, I think that's lavender essential oil, and that's multi-purpose. I could use this on a bug bite. I could actually use it as repellent as well too. Couple drops in there, a little goes a long way. I've got emergency fire on the trail, so cotton balls and a lighter if I should need it. This is a mirror. This is just a medallion that a friend gave me, and I just keep that with me. I have a buff. I also have, so this is a sport Berkey. This is a filter. And the reason why I have that with me is there really wasn't that much water on the trail today, but if I did run out of water, I could use that as a water source. So I could put that in a stream or something, and it filters out better than other typical filters that are used for backpacking and hiking. If you're not familiar with this brand, they're well known in the water filtration community because not only do their filters filter out protozoa, bacteria, parasites, but they also filter out viruses. So I had this with me today in case after the hike, if I was still thirsty and I needed more water, I could have easily got that, maybe at the visitor center, and it would have been filtered. So I did have that with me today. I do bring it with me sometimes, and I do keep it in my bag. This is a pack cover. It's waterproof. It works really well. And I've got sunglasses there. And then this is my very, very lightweight top. It's a running top. It's long sleeve, and it zips up on the neck. And typically in the morning, if I'm feeling a little chilly on the trail, I will have that on, and then I can put that away, and it really doesn't weigh very much. Yeah, so that is everything that I used today during my hike. That was all in my bag. I really didn't use most of it, but I think it's great to have it, especially if you're going on a hike where you're not 100% familiar with the area and there might be a chance of getting lost or even, possibly spending the night out. So for me, it's always better to be safe than sorry.